Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Awakened Taurus 1111. This video is going to be about your ascendant, or sometimes called rising sign. So let's get right into it. First of all, if you do not already know your ascendant sign, I've made some videos on how to pull your natal chart. So I would go and watch that video. There's actually two videos that I have put up on how to go and retrieve it. And then also, it gives you some description on what each planet means and some other things that are in that video. Once you have went out to one of those websites that I recommended and you have calculated the natal chart, it will give you your ascendant sign. So that's where we're at, starting with this video. So the ascendant sign, or sometimes called rising sign, it's the where the sun was in the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. So that's really what it is. What zodiac sign was present in the eastern horizon at the exact time you were born. So let's say, for instance, you were born at 6:30 in the morning. So at 6:30 in the morning on your birthday, this particular zodiac sign was present, and it was in the eastern horizon coming up. So that's an explanation of what the ascendant sign is. What the ascendant sign represents is how you view life. So some other things that it represents is how do you present yourself. And when I say present yourself, it could be everything from how you speak, how you dress, what kind of shoes you wear, for women, maybe how they do their nails, or different things like that. So it's how you present yourself to people. So when you talk about your sun sign, your ascendant sign, and then the opposite of your ascendant sign is your descendant sign. So your sun sign, as we've kind of talked about in some of my other videos, if you've watched specific zodiac signs, I've went into detail on each sign. But your sun kind of represents your ego, your consciousness, it's your identity, and it kind of encapsulates your overall personality of who you are. Your ascendant sign, however, like we're talking about, is the image of how you decorate yourself. Again, like your shoes and your clothes and your hairstyle, how you present yourself, how you greet people, how you meet people, all these different things, your mannerisms. So all these things are encapsulated in your ascendant sign. Now, I've mentioned this in other videos, but your ascendant sign really is your second or third most important sign. Your first 30 years of your life, your moon sign is extremely important, and then it kind of fades off a little bit. It's still important after 30 years of life, but then your ascendant sign really comes into play. So I would almost say if you're plus 30, your ascendant sign is a close tie for second with your moon sign in regard of what the most important signs in your natal chart are. Okay, so now the opposite of your ascendant sign is what's called your descendant sign. So you can immediately figure out your descendant sign by looking at the opposite or the polarity of your ascendant sign. So for an example, my ascendant sign is Virgo. So I have written up here all the polarities or the opposites. So the opposite of Virgo is Pisces, and that is considered your descendant sign. So first look at whatever your ascendant sign is, and then look at the polarity. So that I've already listed them up here, I'll just go through them real quickly. Aries, the opposite of Aries is Libra. The opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. The opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius. The opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. The opposite of Leo is Aquarius. And then the opposite of Virgo is Pisces. I also listed the polarities in the specific sun sign videos that I made as well. So those are all listed there as well if you wanted to go back and watch that video in case you didn't pick it up here. And one thing to think about as well with the descendant sign is it is the western horizon, or the point where the sun was going down and it had turned to dusk on the particular day. So again, kind of just going into a little bit more. Now, I am going to get a little deep here, I'll be honest. So when you think about yourself, I've even heard astrologists, some astrologists, depending on who you listen to, speak of your ascendant as like how you present yourself, obviously, but like where you're at, and your descendant sign is where you need to go. Because even though your descendant sign is the opposite of you, it's like learning to love the parts of yourself that maybe you don't so much jive with. You kind of, in itself, it's parts of yourself that you repress or you refuse to acknowledge. You don't want to think about those things. That's not who I am. But in reality, as you mature and as you become a mature individual, your descendant sign is always present in who you are, whether or not you're accepting that or not, those qualities. But learning to love those qualities that are opposite of you is really the sign of maturity and growing in who you are as a person, and accepting and moving forward with things within your consciousness that are true to be about yourself, and acknowledging those things. So this is what the descendant represents. I know I'm spending some time, even though this video is about ascendant sign, I'm spending quite a bit of time on descendant sign, but it really is important because it makes up so much of what the ascendant sign is. So again, accepting that opposite polarity of yourself is starting to accept and love yourself for the fullness of who you are. And we as individuals, we are drawn or attracted to the opposite. It's kind of like a magnet. It's just that polarity pulls you in to that opposite. And so you see that sometimes in, relationships and different things of people. If you look, there's a lot of times you'll see opposites, but it's because of that attraction point. So this has been the ascendant sign, rising sign, and all about it. I may also make another video that goes into what the moon sign is in a little more detail. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. Anything that I didn't cover that you think I should have, please comment. If you haven't already joined my channel, please join. And if you like this video, please leave a like down below. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.